Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027. Or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Welcome, folks. This is Lou Biazzi, your host again for Live Longer, Live Healthier with your Doctor Medical Center. You know, this is a show that we have, which basically we bring on our physicians every other week, top physicians in the whole area, to let you know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and what's happening in medicine. So don't forget, live longer and live healthier. And due to the COVID situation, a lot of our people are doing it remotely. Usually here at the station, but tonight we're going to be doing it remotely. We have a great doctor on, Dr. Bouzas. He's just come into the area lately from, he's basically an orthopedic surgeon with a great group, and he'll be on in a few seconds. We're trying to bring him on live. We got him on live? Hey, Doc, how are you? We got you on finally. Sorry for the delay, but, you know, with these new things that is happening today, with all the changes, we're lucky we got to find you. But Dr. Bouzas, tell us a little about yourself, Doc. I know you just come into the area finally. You're with a great group. You're with Boca Orthopedic Group. Am I correct?
That's correct. Boca Raton Orthopedic Group. I'm from Detroit. I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit, and I did my training at Beaumont Health. And then I did a sports medicine fellowship this past year in New Orleans at Ochsner Clinic.
And you're doing a tremendous amount of other things as far as you're doing. I understand you're doing something with arthritis, sports medicine, pain, a lot of situation with you. It doesn't necessarily incorporate surgery all the time, all right?
That's correct. So anytime a patient has any pain in any joints, could be the back, could be the shoulders, hips, knees, wrists, these are typically evaluated by orthopedic surgeons, worked up, and then treated appropriately. Majority of the time, if there's no trauma and it's something that's chronic, usually it can be managed non-operatively with conservative care, typically medications and exercises. But it's important you see a specialist to work up the problem and make sure that you're being treated appropriately.
And you know, Boca Orthopedic Group has been around a long time with some great physicians in there. I know a tremendous amount of them are Harvard graduates. I know there's Dr. Coletis is in there, Dr. Bronson's in there. And you, right now, you have the capability of referring these people to any one of these doctors if you can't handle it. Am I correct? So you're a specialist in all these fields, and sometimes it's beyond your field. Your whole office can handle the situation once they come and see you.
That's correct. So there's specialties that are represented in our group. We have a spine surgeon, we have 2 foot and ankle surgeons, we have a podiatrist, we have a hand specialist.
You also I think you also have a podiatrist too, don't you?
That's correct.
So so folks, in this group they have everything. But Dr. Bouzas, why did you come to Florida?
So I was originally from Detroit. I was looking to relocate to Florida or Texas. So I was looking at different practices, different groups. This opportunity presented itself. I interviewed with the group, with Dr. Coletis, with the other partners, and it seemed like it was a great opportunity in a great area, so I took the opportunity.
Well, I can tell you, with a great group, a great bunch of guys. Now, tell me, what you're doing orthopedic sports medicine. A lot of people say, well, what's sports medicine? I play sports. Sometimes I injure myself and I don't know where the pain's coming from. Can they come and see you and can call you and say, listen, doc, I'm suffering from, I just hurt my knee, I got a torn meniscus, I got my calf. I had a friend of mine just hurt his calf and he doesn't know what the problem is. So I recommended recommended you to him because he got up in the morning and all of a sudden he had a crack in his calf and he wants to know what the problem is. And his leg is swelling up and stuff like that.
Yeah. So as a sports medicine subspecialist, we do residency, and all orthopedic surgeons have been exposed to and know how to manage general orthopedics. So after they do their basic orthopedic training, they have the option to do a further subspecialty in different areas. So for example, you have spine, you have hand, you have foot and ankle, you have sports medicine. So for a sports medicine fellowship, you go for a specific year and you're working with other doctors that are covering different teams, different athletes. And at the same time, you're still treating patients, whether they're high-performing athletes from professional athletes to weekend warriors to older patients that are 50, 60, 70. They're still trying to stay active, and any sports-related injuries, they're typically treated by these doctors. So the evaluation can be done, and then from there, depending on what needs to be done, you can further refer that out. But as a sports medicine doctor, you have more experience in arthroscopic surgery. So say, for example, there's a meniscus problem, there's an injury inside the knee, there's a rotator cuff, there's an injury inside the shoulder that's worked up, and if it needs to be treated operatively, it's usually done with arthroscopic surgery.
It's funny, down here, we have a tremendous amount of senior population, and a lot of them play golf or do tennis, etc. And they're always prone to some kind of ailments, such as they'll tear the rotor cuff, or they'll get a torn meniscus. I had 2 torn meniscus, so I know what it is to get a torn meniscus. It's very painful, and sometimes they're scared right now with COVID to go into a hospital. Without going to a hospital, do you service these patients and say a surgical center where it's probably a little safer for them? Do you do any of that surgery in surgical centers or outside the hospital?
Yes. So if the patient can have surgery outpatient, meaning that they don't have medical issues that would preclude them from having surgery at an outpatient center, that's where I would typically do my surgeries. If it's a case where it's more complicated, more medical problems, then I would do it at the hospital in case they have to stay overnight or in case there's any potential complications that can arise from surgery.
Now, what do you do? Also, do you do knees or do you do hips, etc.? Is that available for the patient?
Yes.
Has a knee problem? Can he come and see you?
Yep. So any knee problems, I can see. Hip problems, I'll see. Shoulder problems, I'll see. Pretty much any problems, I'll see. And if there's anything that I don't address specifically, I'll refer them to the appropriate specialist.
One of the specialists. Now, you're located in Glades Road, am I correct?
That's correct. 660 Glades Road.
660 Glades Road? And that's right, I think is that the one that's 660 Glades Road? Is that the one by the station, the Shell station? Or the gas
It's
station?
a Marathon gas station, and it's maybe less than half a mile from Boca Regional Hospital.
Boca Regional Hospital. Your phone number over there, I understand, is 561-391-5515?
Yes, I can double check and make sure.
It's 561-391-5515. So if you want to reach Dr. Bouzos, and I suggest you do, because if you look at him, I know he's an athlete himself. He does a lot of, I think, cycling, Doc?
I do a lot of cycling. I've been going on the A1A. I've been into mountain.
You're risking your life
biking.
in A1A now, Doc? You take a chance of risking your life in A1A with all these drivers down here? Good luck.
I was told that's the safest area to go in.
I don't want you to be a patient, you know what I'm saying?
I was told that's the safest area. I know there's issues that can arise all around, but I was told that's the safest area I can go do some road cycling.
So you cycle, and what else you do for sports activity? You all
Cycling, lifting weights. As of right now, that's pretty much it.
All right, so he does the cycling. So all you cyclists out there, as you get to develop a pain, you got a fellow cyclist that can handle it. As long as he's around, gets off that A1A, I think, right? And I know a lot of people. I see a lot of people when I come in the morning at 441. They're right. The whole groups are riding their bicycles. I hope I don't hit one, right? But anyway,
Yeah.
So we know what you do, and so you can really relate to a cyclist where there's a tremendous amount of cycling going on in this area, especially now with COVID. So if you're a cyclist and you have a problem, make sure you see Dr. Bouzos. So, Doc, now you came to Florida. You've been here how long?
I arrived beginning of October, and I started practice beginning of November.
You've been beginning to practice in November, so
2
you've been here a
months.
short time. And your practice, I understand, is flourishing. They're telling me you're
Yes.
getting busier
Yep.
every day. And even during this COVID time, people are going to see their physicians. You know, they're going to talk to their physicians. Now, are you doing any telemedicine, Doc?
I do telemedicine. However, if it's a more concerning issue, it would require physical exam with potentially more advanced imaging. So there's only so much that can be done with telemedicine. If, for example, there's an evaluation that's done over telemedicine, I think it's a low likelihood of having something serious. Usually, anti-inflammatory medications with formal physical therapy is prescribed, and a lot of times that takes care of the issue. If it doesn't, then the patients can come and schedule an appointment where I can do a formal physical exam and then go from there.
And I know that you know that All County does physical therapy. So we do a pretty good rating. So our agency is All County Healthcare. And, you know, we always say to Dr. Colettis or Dr. Bronson, hey, Doc, if you could send us one referral or two, we'd deeply appreciate it. And we have a pretty good, I think they're very happy. You know, the general public's very happy with our service. We have a 4.5-star rating with Medicare and a 5-star rating satisfaction rating, similar to you and your rating with your companies. So in essence is, if they want to come and see you, they have to call this number, and you'll set up an appointment, and you're open what time? I think you're open 8 to 5?
The office is open 8 to 5. My clinic days are Monday afternoons, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays in the mornings, and then Friday in the afternoons.
Okay, so if they call this number, they call 561-391-5515. They can see you at 460, am I correct? 660 Glades Road, Suite 460, am I correct?
That's
At
correct.
660 Glades Road, Suite 460. And you also have an office in Jog Road?
Yes.
Do you go to that office also?
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow morning.
All right. So, folks, if you're out west, there's an office in Jog Road. That's for people like in Wellington or living on 441. That's close to 441. I mean, so they can service patients from Deerfield Beach, 20, 30-mile radius. It's only 15 minutes to one of his offices, and he'll bring you to the closest office. I'm sure he will. And now, tell us a little more about what you expect out of out of residents and of seniors. For instance, if I'm playing golf and as a senior you can't turn as much, you can't make that turn like you want to make it, is there any exercises or work that you can do with these senior people to help them improve whatever sports activities they're participating in?
Yes, so in general, lots of people, not just seniors, but lots of people have cores that are not that strong, as well as their hips. So just across the board, doing exercises that target your core muscles and your hips a lot of times can help with pain that's from deconditioning.
Even if you do simple exercises, am I correct?
That's correct. However, there's specific exercises that are used to target the core and the hips. You can find these on YouTube. I actually have my own YouTube channel where I'm working with therapists and illustrating these different exercises that can be done. So you can go to my YouTube channel, see the exercises, do them yourself. But a lot of times, if you're not supervised by a formal physical therapist or a specialist, patients tend to cheat and they're not targeting the correct muscle group. So, go ahead.
I'm sorry. If I'm correct, if the person says, you know, Doc, I'm playing golf, I'm playing tennis, but my game, I just don't have the movement. I can't see, maybe there's something wrong with my shoulder, my hip or something. If they came in for you, and let's say you didn't find anything wrong, but let's say a torn meniscus, right? They have torn meniscus. They had it for years. They never had it replaced. They're scared to go get an operation like me. So I know one thing. Is weight a problem? If a person's overweight, if he loses weight, would that help some of these injuries?
Absolutely. So the knee sees about 4 times what your weight is. So a lot of times patients are like, well, it's 2, 3, 4 pounds. You know, yeah, I could lose the weight. It's not that really big of a deal. But if you multiply it times 4, 5 pounds times 4 is 20 pounds. That's 20 pounds less that your knee's seeing. And a lot of times that helps with the pain, just losing that 4 or 5 pounds.
So what you're saying, if I had a torn meniscus and everything had it repaired properly, but just got cortisone shots, and I happen to be a little overweight, if I lost that weight, it would take a lot of pressure off those knees.
Correct.
Right. The other thing is, usually I'm only talking knee replacement, hip replacement. Do some of these patients have a tendency, if they have a knee problem, to lose some of their equilibrium? They feel like they're not steady in their knees, and sometimes going on an incline, it's hard for me to walk if I'm playing golf on an incline or on a downhill lie. It's hard for me to get my balance. I never realized how important knees are.
Yeah, so with the balance thing, assuming that it's just from weakness, a lot of times even for meniscus problems, if it's in a situation where you have some degenerative changes, meaning you have some arthritis, some wear and tear inside the knee, physical therapy is prescribed when you come see me. So along with the weight loss, you would be working on targeting the core, the hips, and the knees to get everything strong and realigned. So if there is weakness there, it's targeted with the therapy, and the goal is to get you stronger with these exercises that you would do on a consistent basis.
So, folks, what I'm getting out of this whole conversation, right now, Doc, can we take a little break? We're going to take a little break, a 30-second break, Doc, and we'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027, or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first.
All right, Doc, we're back. That's very interesting. So what you just said to me is if people down here are seniors and they're really having some problems with balancing or anything else, it could be the knee. Could they come in for you for consultation?
Absolutely. I'm seeing new patients. Any concerns they have, I'm open and available. They would call, schedule an appointment, and I would see them, work them up, evaluate them, and then give them the recommended treatment.
Okay. So listen to that, folks. I know not most of us that are seniors, including myself, we have problems with a knee problem, a hip problem, and sometimes you don't need surgery, but you need to know what the right exercise to do. Maybe you need some cortisone shots. Maybe you need something that the Dr. Bouzos can help you with. So it's worth it to go in and see the doctor, to talk to him and say, listen, I'm having this problem, and let him diagnose your problem, maybe help you, and maybe knock 4 or 5 strokes off your game, or maybe let you go back to cycling again. With a bit of weight loss, maybe you can improve some of your athletic capabilities that you're trying to do. The other thing, Doc, let me ask you another question, crazy question, is that not only are you located in Boca, you're also located in Jog Road, where the patients can see you both times, is that, after doing all of this with these patients, right, and the follow-up with the patients, etc., is there anything that you should suggest that a patient should do as far as any health system, as far as coming to see you in reference to, say, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, so you could take care of all of those sports injuries that he might have occurred even in his younger day? Because a lot of these
Correct.
injuries, like these athletes that have played football, maybe as they grow older, they develop all these injuries. You follow me? They come out. And they don't have the mobility they used to have. So the recommendation is if you're suffering from any kind of ailment, knee, hip, shoulder, whatever that may be, go and talk to Dr. Bouzos. He will give you a consultation. And what are the insurances you take, Doc? You take Medicare? You take other insurances?
Pretty much all of it. If you want the specifics, you can go on the website, and there's a page there that shows all the insurances that are accepted.
And what is that website, Doc? Do you have it offhand, the website?
Yeah, so it's glades.brog.com.
Say that again, please.
Glades, Glades,
Right?
.brog, BROG.com.
Okay, remember that website, and now you can go on that website, you can tell you all the insurances you take, or you call the office. You call the office, the girl will tell you what insurances they take, and you go in, and it might be, listen, it might take a half an hour, 25, 30 minutes for you to get an analysis. Is it worth it to knock 3 or 4 strokes off your golf game? If you're male or female, you do both male and female, am I correct, Doc?
Yes.
Okay, so listen, if you're male or female, he'll see you. Again, sports medicine. When they say sports medicine, everybody says, oh, what's sports medicine? They think of a trainer. What is sports medicine? When you specialize in sports medicine, what basically is it?
So you basically, you do a year of fellowship where you're working with different high school teams, college teams, and even professional teams, and you're evaluating athletes and the injuries that are specific to their sport and to their activity. So you're treating a different patient population, but at the same time, you're still treating the general population as well. So you're treating athletes from all competitive levels, and you're also treating older patients that might be weekend warriors, or they may have some shoulder pain that aren't active, that aren't athletes, but they just have shoulder pain, and you're still evaluating and you're still treating them, but you're getting an extra exposure and experience treating athletes.
Now, this doesn't have to, all these treatments that you give doesn't always entail surgery, right? You try to do surgical prevention. You try to prevent surgery.
Yeah, so the majority of the time, assuming there isn't any trauma that precipitates a visit to my office, a lot of times it's some pain and some weakness, whether it's the shoulder or the knee, that a lot of times needs therapy, anti-inflammatory medications, plus or minus an injection, and a lot of times that takes care of the problem.
So, folks, you're out there. We're running a little out of time. This doctor's a fantastic young man. He's come in with a great practice. Anybody in that practice is, they wouldn't have accepted this man if he wasn't basically a real professional. So I'm sure they interviewed a lot of people for this practice, and he is probably one of the youngest one in the practice right now, and he probably has about most of the updated ideas of what's happening in medicine. So if you're a senior, you're not a senior, you're even a young, what age group will you treat patients, Doc? How young?
From 8 years old all the way to as old as...
Say that, 8 years old?
Yeah, 8 years old all the way up.
Listen, so if you're an 8-year-old young man or a 10-year-old young man, that means he'll treat anyone, which is very hard to find, someone to treat an 8-year-old young man in orthopedics. So if you have a son or daughter that's had these injuries complaining, make sure you go see David Bussos. That number again, if I may say it, Doc, is 561-391-5515. That's 561-391-5515. And go to his website, right? Go to the website. Again, repeat the website, Doc.
So the website is Glades, Glades, .brog.com.
Glades.dog.com.
Brog, B-R-O-G. B as in boy, Brog.
Oh, V-O-R-G. Is that what
B
you
as
said?
in boy.
Oh, B-O-R-G. DocBorg.com. I
Yep.
might not, but anyway, if I didn't get the website correct, please call the office. They'll tell you where to go. They'll tell you the insurance they take. And I can tell you, if you're a cyclist, you're talking to one of your own kind of people, Doc, stay off at A1A, please. I want to see you around next year. All right, stay healthy. We loved having you on. Thank you for coming on. You're welcome anytime on the show that you want to come on. This show will
Thank you.
This show will hit 3 million people. And, I'm sure you're going to get some referrals from it. People will call you. They come down for the season, or they come down year-round. They live in here year-round. So, again, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. And, again, that phone number for the doc is 561-391-5515. Again, thanks, Doc. Stay healthy. Stay safe.
Thank you, Lou. Appreciate it.
And all you people that are listening to us, please stay healthy and stay safe. This COVID thing is a very serious problem. So let's stay healthy again. Doc, again, thanks a million.
Yeah, thank you, Lou.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2 TV at 866-244-5422, and we will put you on the air as soon as possible. Tune in next week for more information on living longer and having a healthier life.